Does it feel different? Do you sense that?
Yeah, it feels different, but the most important thing is we need to stay humble.
Saying this with a straight face is wild. Name me a single football fan happier than a Liverpool fan. You can't. That's the point. Over here, we see Manchester City desperately trying to salvage a Champions League spot. It's not working. This is the form table since match day 11. Third from the bottom speaks volumes. I saw Everton in a 4-2 versus City in the 93rd minute, and none of them even wanted to shoot the ball. City took 24 shots and failed to win against this team. Manchester United have gone back-to-back in defeats. Bournemouth 3-0 at home, then 2-0 to Wolves away. 2 direct corners in a week is astonishing. The next 3 games are Newcastle, Liverpool, and Arsenal. The latter 2 are away. We could be talking about a relegation battle by mid-January. I'm not even joking. These are scary times we're living in. Whatever's in the water in Cheshire, it's led to a City United in sadness. Looks like all the guys that said they would unfollow Mo Salah for posting another Christmas tree post haven't affected his performances that much. Who would have thought? We're looking at a 7-point gap with a game in hand. At Anfield, Christmas never ended. Hello, hope you're well. Welcome back. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. I did. I watched that Amazon Prime movie, Red One, the new movie with The Rock and Chris Evans. Thought it was okay. Not the best movie, but just an okay Christmas movie. I woke up on Boxing Day feeling pretty good, leftovers were there, saw Chelsea lose, Man City drew right before them, but those results, they didn't really incite any sort of emotion in me whatsoever because I just couldn't shake the feeling that there was severe disappointment in my very immediate future. It took Kobe Mainoo magic to get past Wolves away last season. It was a Bruno Fernandes blunder that was the decider this time around. Not for the first time this season either. So we're actually doing this, right? This soon? There wasn't even a new manager bounce. This just feels unfair. Gonna be a shorter video today because of holiday scheduling things and all that. Plus, I also want to really try and get that Dalglish video out by the end of the year. Did I say it was a Dalglish video before? Well, I guess now you know. This is mostly going to be a Manchester United and Manchester City video, just talking about everything that's going on in the background for those two clubs. Not really that much about the on-field stuff because we all know that they're bad, but there's just so much news and nonsense going on that I think we have to debrief. Remember, we're going into this from a position of empathy. Let's start with United. Forgive me if this starts to sound like a rant at some point. So let's get one thing straight. Manchester United were in a really bad situation before Amorim arrived, as they usually are. So it's not like a new shiny manager is going to come in with a system that not a lot of these players are used to and immediately start getting results. So from that perspective, we got to stop overreacting. So just give him some grace. However, he's already lost 5 games and he's only been there just under 2 months. It seems like in every single game United concede from a set piece. I think at this point, it's 10 goals conceded directly from set pieces. How? And a senior academy graduate of 27 years of age hasn't even been on the team sheet in 2 weeks. And from where I'm sitting, it seems like the majority of the shortcomings are coming from individual mistakes. The story of I don't know how many years now. Every game it seems like there's at least one player that drops a 1 out of 10. And that's being generous. Onana countless times. Altay Bayindir versus Spurs, Bruno against Wolves. I believe in what Amorim's trying to do right now. I've read up on what he did at Sporting. I've watched every single Manchester United match that he's managed since he came in. And even the ones that I didn't watch live, I've gone back to watch reruns on them. And it's very clear to see the improvement in chance creations. There's more deliberate movements and more. The first half versus Bournemouth wasn't bad at all. Add on a couple more minutes in the first half and I think they probably do equalize. But this team has just been lacking in heart for I don't know how many years now, right? As soon as things start to go badly, they just revert to factory settings. There is the odd comeback, like against City, but with all due respect, that is Manchester City right now. If the league only consisted of November and December, then they would have been relegated by now. So against Wolves, I'm not sure that Bruno Fernandes' first yellow card was warranted, but he gave the ref no choice with a ridiculous second challenge. Imagine you give a halftime team talk, lay all your plans out, and then your captain goes out and gets a red card in the 47th minute. It's the 3rd time he's been red carded this entire season. Nobody else in the entire Man United squad has been shown red. One of his was rescinded against Spurs, but that just means he's gotten 2 and everyone else still has 0. He is the best signing and player post Sir Alex Ferguson. I strongly believe that, I stand by that, but he does have this tendency to be rash and just make poor decisions and strange movements, and as a captain you can't really be doing those things. And on that note, is he the best choice for captain at this minute right now, taking into consideration everything that I just said? I don't know, man. At least he gets to sit a game out now, I guess. Back to Wolves, apart from that, it seems like there was just a lot of lethargic movement there, and Wolves were pretty happy to let United have the ball because they felt and knew that there was no real threat there. Lo and behold, they did not offer a threat, and a second goal went in. Credit where credit is due, Wolves played that game phenomenally. Cunha was having a blinder of a game. He could have had 2 goals, maybe more, but decided to be unselfish in the 99th minute and squared it. But we also have to be fair from a United perspective. Manuel Ugarte was phenomenal. He was the only phenomenal thing from last night, right? Kobe Mainoo was having one of those off nights that he does seem to have quite often, and Ugarte was picking up the slack. He was doing all the work in the midfield and has definitely been probably the best player for United over the past 4 or so games. But maybe we shouldn't be surprised that he's adapting so well. After all, he does know this system quite well. Too bad he's got a yellow card accumulation suspension for the Newcastle game. Happy days. Sometimes I feel like this club is single-handedly keeping the British sports media industry and the global sports media industry afloat. If it's not something on the pitch, it's a rodent infestation hitting Old Trafford. Then it's the continued spotting of leaking ceilings at Old Trafford. Then it's the continued leaking of the actual lineup before the games. And then it's the unceremonious, abrupt firing of sporting directors. The Athletic on Christmas Eve reported that their sources at other football clubs in the surrounding areas are sitting on dozens of applications from current United staff who all fear their jobs are being cut soon. They make other notes like support staff bonuses and rewards being taken away for the purposes of cost cutting. This next part isn't actually recent news, we've known about it since it actually happened, but before the FA Cup final, the club announced that they would not be paying for the support staff's travel, accommodation and food, as is usually the case for these big occasions. Bruno Fernandes recognized that in Portuguese that's called a dick move and offered to cover the difference. It was refused. And on top of all of that, it's heavily expected that the season ticket prices and the regular ticket prices are going to increase over the next year. Now, there's going to be a lot of negative reactions to all of this news, but realistically, look at it from this perspective. This is the sort of stuff that a guy like Jim Ratcliffe did to become a billionaire. These tactics have worked for him in the past, and United are currently loss-making. You better believe that if a profit is reported next year come the end of June, then there's going to be a lot more positivity around this guy and the things that he's doing at the club. But you know, is this the way to go? You know, a lack of camaraderie and humanity towards people and the people that you employ to make the vision that you have in your mind become reality. So many people losing their jobs, reports of cost cutting and antics that we don't really see being reported for other clubs. To be fair, maybe because it's not going to make the news in the way a negative headline for United might. It kind of makes you think about how things would pan out from a long-term perspective, a reputation perspective, a recruitment perspective. As someone who's worked in a corporate environment before for many years, I've been through the entire process of being reached out to from headhunters and, you know, companies maybe directly themselves. And sometimes you have to look at that offer that you've got, your current position, and amongst the things that you look at are benefits, perks, most importantly, company culture. Right now, the company culture at Man United, it seems questionable. The name on the front of the building is still Manchester United at the end of the day. I'm going on a little bit of a mini rant right now, and realistically, they will not have any problems recruiting people based on that perspective alone. But I don't know, man. If things like this are happening, and if the picture that is being painted to us in the media is what's happening, how long does that last? Right now, it seems like United are owned by 2 different kinds of billionaires. The type that doesn't care about performance and refuses to change things, and the type that cares deeply about performance and is willing to sacrifice everything. It's the best of both worlds, I guess. On a final note for United, I feel like we have to acknowledge the worst casualty of this entire situation. João Pereira, the long-term successor of Ruben Amorim at Sporting since long before he even left for United. He was the coach of the B side at Sporting, and after being promoted, he only lasted 6 weeks. Happy holidays. The Etihad was erupting in boos following their draw to Everton, which I think makes sense, contrary to what some loyal purists may think. When you go 13 games while only winning one of them, I don't know how many fans of clubs would be willing to sit through it without saying anything, let alone top clubs. And the football's just been so dire, man. I think in the initial weeks of this bad run, people were willing to give grace. I certainly was willing to give grace because of the situation with injuries and everything going on, and I still feel that, but this has gone on for way too long, man. Pep does seem to be trying his hardest though. It seems that on Christmas Day, the entire squad was reporting for training, which obviously isn't unheard of. Some people might find it a little bit crazy though, only for Jordan Pickford to show them what crazy actually looks like. This guy definitely has a few screws loose, but I'm here for it, man. Mikalenko kicked Savinho, who was already falling over, and because Haaland is clearly cursed, he missed the pen. Pickford did happen to have all the City penalty takers' penalty shot preferences, which is a nice touch. Erling Haaland scored 4 goals in the 13 games since he encouraged Mikel Arteta to stay humble. Before that, he scored 9 goals in 4 and looked like he was going to break every single record under the sun. I don't remember the last time someone's words have backfired on them this sensationally. We're going to be talking about this for years, generations maybe. This man could win a Ballon d'Or and people will be reminding him to stay humble. Alright, I'm willing to admit it. I'm finally willing to admit it. City are out of the title race. No matter what winning streak they go on, they're done. And while the Manchester clubs lick their wounds, Liverpool keep pushing on. Liverpool vs Leicester was a great watch. They just can't seem to turn the style off. Even after going a goal down, they're just magical. And after every game, there's always someone new that's making the headlines. First it's Szoboszlai, then it's Gakpo, then it's Diaz, then it's McAllister, then it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. But the only constant seems to be Mohamed Salah. At this point, after so many years of consistency, with this one looking to be his best one yet at 32 years of age, where do you guys rank Mohamed Salah on the Premier League list of great attackers? 8 years at this obscene level, it can't be that many above him. Not more than 3, right? Let me know what you guys think. And there we have it. I'm really hoping to be posting that video essay just before New Year's, but if I don't, and I only see you guys next year, I want to wish you guys a happy New Year, and you're going to achieve all your dreams this year. I can feel it. This year, it's your year. It's our year. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.